let's get this Instagram feed up and running. And now it is time to get started. Hey, welcome to AtTheTrack.live. My name is Coach James. I am the creator of and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics, which is a science program that uses Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics-related topics, including but not limited to friction, force, aerodynamics, drag, lift, Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force. After we have learned all the science and conducted experiments to drive home those ideas, then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a car they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything that they have learned in the class. After they have selected their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, the materials the car is made from, all of the information that they can observe. They document that in a spreadsheet, and then all that's left to do is conduct an experiment. And the way we conduct our experiments, the students set up a 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip and have a tournament and race the cars. And we observe how their cars performed. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select that car again, or would they make a different choice based on everything that they have observed? In the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars and we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about our science program, All About Aerodynamics, all you have to do is go to our website, aaAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, aaAerodynamics, and all of the information you need to contact me is in the bio, and we can discuss how to bring our program to your school or your organization or your special event. But this is not all about aerodynamics. This is all about Aerodynamics Presents AtTheTrack.live. So what is AtTheTrack.live? Well, before I can bring in all of those cars for the students to use in their experiments, I have to make sure that I have them organized and cataloged. And the way that I do that is I take a picture, I shoot a little video, I assign a number to the car, and I enter that into my spreadsheet. And once I have the cars all cataloged, then they're available for the students to use. But I have more cars in storage because every time I go to a store, I go down the toy aisle, check out the Hot Wheels, see if there's anything new, anything that catches my eye that I think is cool, that I think the students would like, and I pick those up. Problem is, I end up buying more cars and putting them in storage than I have cataloged and put into what we call our fleet, our active list of cars. So AtTheTrack.live gives me the opportunity to go into storage and pull out some of those cars, crack those open. We'll take a look at those. I'll get my picture, do a little review, and then the car is entered into the fleet. The track is set up, so why not have some races? So every week we have a tournament with the new cars that I introduce, but wait, there's more. You have the opportunity to participate. All you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, and you will have 3 options. One is the YouTube stream link, one is the Twitch stream link, but the third link is the most important. That's the one that says choose your car. So again, if you go to AtTheTrack.live and select the choose your car option, you will be taken to this series of pages. And on these pages, you will be able to scroll through and see all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics AtTheTrack.live fleet. We are up to 1,075. There are 1,075 different Hot Wheels cars for you to take a look at, for you to check out, for you to pick to enter into the tournament. So all you have to do is find the car that you think is going to be faster than the cars that I have introduced and that the other viewers have picked, and we will enter that car into the tournament, and we will see if you're right. If your car can beat out all of the other cars, then you will be today's champion and have a chance to take on our fastest in fleet car. But as you scroll through, you are going to see that we have lots of different types of Hot Wheels cars. We have cars, we have trucks, we have vans. We have cars that are boats. We have cars that are planes. We have cars that are trains. We have cars from the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s. We have character cars. We have fantasy cars, cars based on real cars. We have Batmobiles. We have F1 cars, NASCARs, Lamborghinis, cars from the movies. We have some cars that are beyond description. And they are all there. We even have a food truck right there. A few weeks ago, we did a food truck race and kind of figured out, it wasn't a food truck race, but we had the food trucks in there. We had some delivery vans. We had a semi truck. We had this giant, the highway hauler too, the biggest truck that we have ever, the biggest vehicle that we've ever had on the track, and it was tough to get it on that track and to get it lined up, and it was quite a scene. But hey, if that's what you want to pick, that's available to pick. If you want to have a chance to win, I suggest you pick something else. And we have hatchbacks, we have El Caminos, we have Firebirds, tanks, Santa's sled. We have the Formula Solar. I was just having a conversation this week with someone on YouTube about the Formula Solar, and it's pretty interesting because aerodynamically it does well. It has a great aerodynamic profile and does well on the track, but it is very light. And on our track, towards the back end of the track, light cars tend to have a tougher go of it than cars that have a little more weight to them. So Formula Solar is an option. It's the first car that we had with these disc wheels that performed really well. A lot of the cars with the disc wheels haven't done so well, and it kind of gave me a bit of a bias against those cars. But the Formula Solar kind of changed my outlook and opinion on cars with the disc wheels. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? Yeah, the Road Bandit looks like the Jeepney from the Philippines. Yeah, and it's funny with the Road Bandit, I ended up with 2 of those. And it was early on when I wasn't really being all that careful about not putting duplicates in. So we have the Road Bandit, we have this yellow one, and then we have the red one, which, again, the reason why I don't put duplicates is because between these two, there's no difference. Yes, the wheels are different technically, but by and large, there's no actual difference, so it doesn't make sense. So I usually try to avoid having duplicate cars in the fleet, and as we go through and as we've really increased the number of cars in the fleet by so many, that when I go into storage, I do find that I'm coming across now more duplicates than I did, obviously, when we had fewer cars. But it's no worries, because the cars that are duplicates end up being prize cars that students can win if they answer questions, have good citizenship, just different things related to the program. So the cars do not go to waste. We have a mystery machine, which is kind of cool. I think if it was a little bit longer, it would probably be a little more balanced out. I don't remember how this one performed when we raced it. It's possible. I feel like it crashed. And that kind of short wheelbase, I think, is not ideal for racing. But, I mean, forget that. Even regardless of the wheelbase, that shape is not conducive to doing well on our tracks. So it is just one of those things that if you happen to pick the mystery machine, you got to take that into consideration. With all these cars, you really want to think about the aerodynamic profile. And that is something that we take a look at on Wednesday. We have this one, the Cadillac Project GTP Hypercar. I really like this car, and I was hoping that it would do better than it did. But it is metal on plastic, which is another thing to take into consideration. A car with this much metal up top is going to be heavier, and heavier cars on our track, cars, and when I say heavy, I mean cars over 40 grams. 36 is kind of the top limit of the sweet spot. You get to 38 grams, you're kind of pushing it, but we've still seen cars do well. You get to 40 grams, and your car really better have a spectacular aerodynamic profile, because that weight is probably going to come into play in a negative way and not work to the benefit of your car. But I really do, I like the design of this car, which is based on a real and actual hypercar that Cadillac has out and races. So we have all types of cars in there in our fleet ready to go, and we are going to introduce more today. And I've got some really good ones. We've got the Duke Kaboom with the Canadian, with the maple leaf on the top, and that was an interesting car, because it has this flame. You can kind of see it in this picture, this little flame sticking out of the back that creates this little point, and I think that prevented this car from getting really good launches. As you'll see, if you've never seen one of our races before, we have a launching block that presses up, that the cars press up against, that pushes them out onto the track. And what you really seem to want, based on everything that we've observed, is cars that have a flat back end with more surface area to press up against the launching block tend to get better launches. And getting a good launch is so key and critical that it's just something that you can't really overcome. It's hard to overcome a bad launch. And with this car, with that little point sticking out, it made for not such a great, well, it didn't get consistent launches. And I think that kind of hurt it in the long run. Not that it was the most aerodynamically sound car, but if we put that up against other vehicles that have a similar profile, I think this one should have performed better. But it's hard to get good launches when you don't have proper back end. This is a Ferrari that I picked up. I ordered on eBay because I was watching a YouTube channel, and this particular Ferrari did extremely well on their gravity track, but we don't have a gravity track. We have a flat drag track, and this car, it's an older edition, and the label on the package said, I think, gold medal speed, and it was never really clear what exactly that meant. But we raced this car, and it was heavy, it was slow, and that's just not it's not a good combination. So what works on a gravity track is not always the same thing that works on our track. So that is something to keep in mind. But there are over 1,000 cars, 1,075 cars for you to pick from. So all you have to do, once again, is go to AtTheTrack.live, select the choose your car option, scroll through, find the car that you think is going to be faster than the cars I introduce and faster than the cars that the other viewers have picked, and you could be facing our fastest in fleet car. So if your car that you pick beats out all the others, you will have the opportunity to go up against our fastest in fleet champion car, which is, oh, and by the way, when you find the car that you want, just take the number of that car and put it in the chat, and I will pull that car. So if it's this 17 Acura NSX, after you take a look at it and you confirm that's the car you want, just take the number, in this case 704, drop it in the chat. I will pull that car, and you'll be entered into the tournament, just like that. But if you win the tournament, if you come out on top, you will have the opportunity to take on our fastest in fleet car, which is and has been for a while. It has been this one. It is the BlitzSpeeder. The BlitzSpeeder is the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet. It has been our champion for about the last 3 months or so, and it has not had much competition. This is the fourth time that the BlitzSpeeder has been our fastest in fleet champion, and which means it has been beaten 3 other times. And one of the cars that beat it was already knocked out by the BlitzSpeeder. They had a rematch and the BlitzSpeeder beat it. But there are 2 other cars that the BlitzSpeeder was beaten by that the BlitzSpeeder has not beaten. It was just a kind of roundabout weird way that the BlitzSpeeder ended up back as champion. And yes, Christopher brought it back, and he brought it back, and the BlitzSpeeder has been, apparently is here to stay, at least for a while, because the races that it's had have not really been all that close. And part of the reason, a lot of the reason, is the aerodynamic profile. And every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, we have Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, where we take these cars and put them inside the Funtech Labs Winsible, which is a 1/64th scale wind tunnel. And when we turn on the airflow in the wind tunnel, we can see how the air is flowing over, under, and around these cars, and we can get an idea about how much drag is going to impact these cars when they're racing. And the BlitzSpeeder has the best aerodynamic profile of any car that we have seen, and what that means is that it's able to reduce the impact of drag. There's 3 forces that are going to be working against the forward momentum of these cars: gravity, friction, and drag, with drag being the most significant. And any car that can reduce the impact of those forces is going to perform better. It's going to maintain more of its speed and win more races. And the BlitzSpeeder has absolutely the best aerodynamic profile we've seen. Plus, you look at that back end. I was talking about getting a good launch. The back end of the BlitzSpeeder, it's got that wing that's wide and flat. It presses right up against the launching block. When we shoot it out, it gets very consistent launches. So it's already ahead. It's getting great launches. It's reducing the impact of drag. And its weight is right. It's 32.4 grams. So it's right within that sweet spot of 32 to 36 grams. So it's already got all of that going for it. And we see the results on the track with this car, that it really rarely has competitive races. And the times that it has had competitive races, it's usually been beaten. So maybe today we're going to find a car that can beat it. We've got some great cars coming up in the mix. Hey, Roughshod. Christopher and Roughshod have made their picks. If anyone else stumbles across this episode, all you have to do, the website address is right there on the side of the screen. Just go to AtTheTrack.live, select choose your car, find the car that you want, drop the number of that car into the chat. I will pull the car, and you will join Christopher and Roughshod in trying to find a car to take down the BlitzSpeeder. And if we can do that, then we will be kind of making some At The Track Live history. So let's take a look and see what we've got. What we've got in the mix today. So I've got a bag full of cars. I was kind of out of town, sort of. I was just a little, not way out of town, just a little bit outside LA, and found some really interesting cars that I hadn't seen around my way. So we are going to check some of those out. But here, we're going to start off with this one that I just picked up. And I know I'm supposed to be going into storage and pulling those cars. But we'll start here with this one. The Maserati Tipo 61. And this is just a cool little compact kind of race car convertible. Gives me some of those a little bit of those Speed Racer Mach 5 vibes. Let's see what we've got here on the back. Maserati Tipo 61, born in 1959 in Modena, Italy. Designer Maserati. Rev up the engine of the birdcage for pure racing perfection. This lightweight and legendary race car is celebrated for its innovative space frame chassis, sleek design, and dominating track performance. Okay, we will see how dominant the track performance is when we get it on our track, but let's take a look at it. Maserati Tipo 61. Let's check the weight. Oh, and I'm already noticing it's got the disc wheels. We were just talking about that. And I think Roughshod picked the Formula Solar. And once it performed as well as it did, it changed my opinion on cars with disc wheels. So this Maserati's weighing in at 26.8 grams, which is pretty light. It's pretty light for our track. Like I said, 32 to 36 grams is really that sweet spot. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at this one. The Maserati Tipo 61. I'll get my video first as this thing comes around. And it is metal body on a plastic base. It'll be interesting to get this car into the wind tunnel because these sort of convertible, these open race cars, it's always interesting to see what happens with the air as it flows over the hood, hits that windshield, and then what happens as the air flows over the driver's compartment. Does it flow completely over the top? Does it start to swirl around and get kind of turbulent and trapped in that area? It's hard. It's always interesting, and it's different based on the designs of different cars. We had a Corvette last week that had it was a Z06 convertible, and its aerodynamic profile was pretty good, but I think that we did see the air kind of swirling around in the driver's compartment, and I think that when it raced on the track, ultimately that didn't serve it well. Maserati Tipo 61. This is car number 1076 added to the fleet. We've got that. Let's see. Have you gotten the Nash yet? It has the disc wheels. That sounds familiar. I think I would have to look that car up. To jog my memory to know if I've already picked that up. I don't think it's been introduced into the fleet, but I think It sounds like one that I may have already picked up, but I would have to check on that. But if it has the disc wheels, then I think, if it has disc wheels and we had already raced it, I think I would remember. All right. And we've got our still picture. And we now have car number 1076 entered into the fleet. It is the Maserati Tipo 61. It is going to be trying to take out the BlitzSpeeder, which is no small task. Looking at this car again, we've got the disc wheels on the bottom. I mean, looking at the bottom, we can see the disc wheels, and I don't know, but this car is very light, and the fact that it's light is usually where we see that come into play is on the back end of the track. Drag gets to these lighter cars, and we see it on the back end. That is usually the place where you can kind of see. That's where a lot of these races are won and lost, on that back stretch of the track. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And let's see what we have next. It actually a little bit of the kind of gives me the Chaparral 2 vibes, which was also because the Chaparral 2 I think was heavier because it was metal on metal. So maybe that's not the best comparison there. All right, let's see what else. Now we are going to find, because where is it? Right here. A very good friend of the program has found another gem and donated it, and this is a cool one that I'd seen it online, but I hadn't seen it in the stores yet. And it is this one. It is the Liebre, and this is a Hot Wheels Legends Tour winner. I don't remember. Was this last year's winning car? I think it was, because this is a 2026 edition. So I believe that this was last year's Hot Wheels Legends Tour winning car, which means that I probably saw it when I was out there at the Legends Tour stop in El Segundo. So let's go ahead and, well, if it was there, because it's not necessarily, it could have been at any of the tour stops and won at those locations. But anyway, we've got it in the fleet, got it right here now. And let's see. Take this down here. All right, crank this out. La Liebre. Let's see. This is a metal body on a plastic base, a little kind of compact, and weighing in at 35.6 grams. So this is actually, that's a little, not a little better, it's a lot better in terms of being in that, getting to that sweet spot. So let's go ahead and check out La Liebre. And let's see. Christopher's saying he goes out of town to Walmart, Supercenter, Rio Canadian. Oh, yeah. I think that's the thing to do, is to just, you have to go explore your area, because different stores have different things in stock. I think what I run into is that there are a lot of collectors in my area, and so when I go to the stores, you can always tell. You can tell when Hot Wheels collectors have been there, because the cars are like either laid out in a certain way or organized in a way that you can tell that someone went through them who was looking for something very specific and trying to be efficient about it. And so every once in a while I will go into a store. It's usually there's a Dollar Tree near me that if I get there at just the right time, on just the right day, I can catch Hot Wheels cars before some of the other collectors show up and get there. But that's only happened to me maybe once or twice. So most of the time, I don't see. There's a lot of the cars that I never see. Like, I still have never seen, other than in that 5-pack that I got, that I showed a week or so ago, I've never even seen any of the new Ferraris in the store on the shelf. I was just at a grocery store last night, and they had, it was some series, I forget what the series of cars was, but it was, I think there was a Ferrari should have been in the set, but all the other cars were there, but the Ferraris were gone. So it's just how it goes. But let's talk about this one. The Liebre, I like that back end, flat, wide wing right there. Is going to press up nicely against the launching block, so that is a plus. It is compact. I like the weight. It's got standard Hot Wheels wheels. I think it's got slightly bigger, wider wheels in the back than it does in the front. Nice stance. The black and white, I like that with a little bit. There's a little something I didn't look too closely on the top. There's a little red and green, got a little yellow badge right there on the side. I like that wheel combination. I like those wheels. Look really good with this. This is overall, they did a great job with this. And this is a fantastic addition to the fleet. And we will see how it performs. Liebre. And this is another one that I'm going to look forward to putting into the wind tunnel, because it's just got such it's got a unique shape there in the front. And then when it comes up to that really short hood area, then to the windshield, up to the roof line. And usually what we see in the wind tunnel is that when the airflow, as it comes off of, gets to the back of the roof, when cars have the rear windshield area sort of goes down, then we usually see the air detach from following along the lines of the body right about there, and it flows up. But what we have seen with cars with these taller wings is that air, as it detaches, it moves straight across to that wing, and so we don't get the same amount of turbulent air and increases in drag that we see from some of the other cars. So we have, oh, okay. So Christopher's saying that Liebre translated to the hare. So let's go with, so I guess, okay, maybe it's quick as a rabbit, and who knows? I guess that's it. Hey, Beyblader, how you doing? Glad to see you. Long time no see. And you are gonna go in with car number 161, and that is one we will check out and pull in just a little bit. So we've got the Liebre. Oh, and I'm trying to see what this is on the, I was just looking at the graphics on the side of this, just checking this out. Mattel had added in a little a little more detail. They don't always do that. This is cool. All right, so we've got the Liebre. We have the Maserati Tipo 61, and we are ready to go. All right, what else? What other cars are we going to introduce into the fleet? Let's see. So, when I was out of town, I went to a thrift store, and they had Hot Wheels all over the place. And all these cases, some were loose, some were in packages. A lot of older models of cars, which is cool. The prices were they were all over the place, and they were higher than they should be. I don't know how people are necessarily pricing these cars. But I did happen to see a car that I'd seen online, and someone was selling on eBay, and I was gonna buy it on eBay. So on eBay it was about $5 or $6, but then you had to pay for the shipping, so it jumps up to like 11 bucks. I saw it at the thrift store, and they were charging $9 for it, but I didn't have to pay the shipping. So I picked it up, and it is this one. It is the Lakester, and the guy may have ripped me off, because on this side it says $3, and then up here, which is what he charged me, was the $9. But either way, it's okay. The Lakester, this is definitely an older car. On the back of the package here it says 97. But I'll show you why this kind of caught my eye online and why I picked it up. So let's go ahead and crack this open. The Lakester. It looks like it has hinges, like it may open up. So this is going to be interesting. It's also got it's got this packaging, but then there's also another little plastic thing that it's inside. So it's got this, which we need. All right, the Lakester. So first, let's see. Does it open up? It does. Okay. This is a cool car. Very cool. All right, let's see what it weighs first of all. Weighing in at 31.9 grams. Let's take a look at the Lakester. So this one, there's a bunch of things that I like about it, and a number of reasons why I picked this up. And the shape, let's see. Wait, let me get that recording going. All right. So the shape, I like that. It kind of reminded, when we had the Bullet Bill car, I like the profile. It's got that flat piece in the back that I think is going to press up right against the launching block, which should help give it a pretty good solid launch. It's open wheeled. Now that's the thing that's a little makes me a little nervous. The open wheel cars, we do not want to have a forky situation. And I will, after we finish getting the video with the open wheel cars, we always have to remember forky and what can happen to open wheel cars on our track. It is a dangerous game, but when you're looking at this car and the profile, I think this should do well. The weight is decent. Now, the one area that I am wondering about is right in here. So it opens up. So we can take a look at this where it opens up. And that is cool. Nice design right there. Good looking car. And this is metal on metal. The engine part is plastic, but all the red is metal. And so when we close this down, you can see that there's a gap right here. And the question is air going to be flowing in there? Also, how's it going to interact with the side right here, these openings here? Is that going to work to slow this car down in the long run? I don't know, but I really like the shape of it. I like everything about it except the fact that it's open wheeled. I wish there was something right here sticking out to just protect these wheels, but we are going to find out if this car is going to make the cut, if it is going to be at one of those a metal on metal surprise pick, a sleeper car, or if it is just going to be another cool car in the collection that just couldn't hang with the upper tier Hot Wheels cars, which is what we're looking for. We want to find the fastest cars. I don't care if it's from the 90s. I don't care if it's from the 2000s, 70s, 80s, whenever. I just want to find the fastest Hot Wheels car. And right now, that is the BlitzSpeeder. But who knows? By the time we finish up the races today, it could be the Lakester, which I also like the fact that there's a lot of detail on here. We have the sponsor logos there. We have it's got Spirit of Eagle Rock on the top, which is a part of out here. It's I don't know. I don't think Eagle Rock's its own city. I think it's just a section of LA. But either way, I don't know. So perhaps this is or perhaps it's referring to Eagle Rock in some other part of the country. I don't know. I also don't know if this is modeled after a real car. Maybe not. But either way, it is going to hit the track. It is going to be in the tournament today, going up against the Liebre, against that Maserati, and also against some other cars that I have in store. So let's go ahead and see what's next. Let's see. So here's one. This is interesting. So last week, was it last week? Yeah, I think it was either last week or the week. Last week is kind of we had a car from Maisto, and was that I don't remember I think it was the Ferrari. It was that Ferrari Monza. It was really nice. It was the SP1, and it was the first car that had rubber wheels that we put on the track that actually was able to complete the race, which was a shock and a surprise. So I was in the store and I decided, all right, let me give the Maisto cars another look. And so they have their premium cars, which are cool. And then they have sort of their, I guess what would be their equivalent of their mainline cars, which are significantly cheaper looking. And I picked one up because I was curious. It's this one. It is this 82 Firebird. And it is a Maisto car from their Fresh Metal 100 muscle car collection. And I picked it up for a specific reason. And the reason is I know that we have a Hot Wheels version of this, actually a couple of these 80s Firebirds. And this one, this 82, is the same year as the Knight Rider Firebird, which I know we have, but there's a little asterisk. So let's open this one. because I don't know if this one's going to stay. I have to check out the build quality of this thing. So the first thing is that I noticed when it was in the package is, it's a little hard to see, but there's a gap between the plastic bottom of this car and the metal upper part of the car. It just, the whole thing feels extremely cheap, and the build quality is not there. Let me I'll switch over to the other view, but let me check the weight, because that's usually a giveaway about how cheap the car is. 23.9 grams. So this is even lighter than the that Maserati. Let me switch the view over to here. And right here, it's a little hard to see, but there is a gap. Yeah, you can see it right there. Like, are they even trying? This, like, it's awful. Like, you can kind of see right there. There's just a gap. You would not see that on a Hot Wheels car, on a Matchbox car. Like, that's just poor quality. You know, it is. I wanted to try and give one of these other car lines a shot, but when these cars are this cheaply made and poorly made, they're usually super light. And when my son and I used to race, when we were first doing basically a version of all about aerodynamics and racing these cars, we had to ban like these just the cheap Chinese throwaway knockoff cars, because they were so light. They would end up being fast on the track, but it's not a thing we want to get into. But we are going to put this car up against some of the others. So we have this one, and it's interesting because if you just look at the top, it's got a, let me get it in focus here. It's got a nice black metal flake paint job up top. It's got the little Firebird logo right on the front, so it's not a total knockoff. Somebody, like, they got authorization to make this, and it's not like those cars that I picked up in Costa Rica that were 100% knockoff frauds. But the wheels are just very shaky. It rocks back and forth, and that's not a feature. Like, that's not something that they're advertising, like, oh, look at our suspension. No, that's just poor quality. This is terrible. So, you know what? I'm not even going to put this in the fleet, but what we are going to do is I pulled out the Knight Rider, the Hot Wheels version, right here, same thing, 82 Trans Am, or Firebird. But the problem is that this kit car, it has rubber wheels. So that is going to be a bit of an issue, because cars with rubber wheels tend to, other than that Ferrari, create there's too much friction. And with there being too much friction, then they just don't move down the track efficiently. But we also have car number 4 in our collection, which we can take a look at right here, which is one that I had when I was a kid. This one, the 80s Firebird with the gold hot ones. And this car, I'm going to pull it out. I remember when we raced this early on, like one of the first episodes of At the Track Live, this car kept crashing, and I think, or there was something was going on with this car, and I think it's really light, and I ended up having to taped a quarter or a nickel or something to the hood, and that actually gave it a little more weight, and it performed better. So it was just a little experiment that we conducted, that car was just really, really light. And I think that we have that one. And then we're going to pull out car number 454. And let me jump over there, because that is, let's see, it's probably going to be on this page. Nope. One more page over. And yeah, car number 454 is this one, this Pontiac Firebird. So I think this one's a pretty standard kind of mainline Firebird. So we are going to run a race. We're going to take that Gold Hot Ones, the Gold Hot Ones 80s Firebird. We're going to take the Knight Rider Premium edition with the real riders. We're going to take that. And then we're also going to take this 80s mainline, this 84 Firebird, and we're going to put them all, we're going to have a straight Firebird Showdown, and we're going to see how that cheap Maisto car performs. And I'm looking at it, and as it comes around, it's such poor quality, so terrible. Like this, look at this huge gap there. I mean, I get that part of it is sitting on the block, but it's so poorly made. Yeah, it's super light. So this is going to, we're just gonna see, because I just can't put this cheap thing into the fleet. Which reminds me, I still have this pack of, there was a pack that I saw at Walmart, and it was like, I forget what the cars were. It was like Samurai Showdown, and all the cars had all these kind of like crazy Japanese and like graffiti graphics on them. And I have a pack, and I haven't opened those up to see what the quality is of those cars. I don't really know who the manufacturer was, but it was one of those things that I just saw in Walmart a couple years ago, like during the holidays. They just popped up. I picked up a pack and never haven't opened them up. So that's something that we'll have to do down the line. Let's do a passenger van showdown. We may at some point, we may do something like that. All right, let's see. Let's get at least another car in here, another legit car, before I go and grab the viewer pick cars. And let's see. So I picked up another one at the thrift store that was pretty cool, but I think I might save that one for next week and see what other cars. All right, so yeah, we'll go with this one. One of the series that I saw in the store was this Hot Wheels Silver Series Vintage Club. So they have all these cars that are supposed to look like barn finds. So they have little rust marks and scuffed paint and all that. It's kind of cool. This one, Volkswagen Classic Bug, and I know that we have a Volkswagen Beetle in here. I think we just put it in not too long ago, within the last few weeks. Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, car number 927. So this one is a little different, and we're going to crack it open. Plus, it is this silver series, so I presume just from the weight of the package, I think this is going to be metal on metal, which automatically is making it different than that other car. So it's not exactly a duplicate because it's different material. So let's crack it open and take a look. The silver series. Yeah, I was looking through some dump bins just yesterday, in fact. And it's funny when you see the Hot Wheels people. So I was in Target, and I went and started looking through the dump bin, and some guy said, "Oh man, it's already been picked through," and so then he was looking at some other cars. I was like, "Yeah, it's not much new." And so then I left Target and went to this grocery store, and I'm of course going to look for Hot Wheels. And who do I see there? Same guy. So it's like once you find the collectors and all that, everybody, there aren't really any secret stashes anymore. I think everybody knows about everywhere. It's kind of like before Google Maps and Waze and Apple Maps and all that. You could have a little secret shortcut through your city to get from point A to point B. But now there are no more shortcuts because everybody's got the apps and everybody knows. And so I think the same with searching for Hot Wheels around here. There are no secret locations or secret stashes or anything. Everybody knows about everything, which is fine. But it would be nice to see some of those cars that I only see on YouTube out in the wild. All right, this Beetle weighs in at 38.4 grams. It is metal on metal. It is heavy. It is a barn find, the silver series. Let's take a look. We are looking at this one. It is... Now, the thing is, we had the other... Let me switch to the video. We had the other Volkswagen Beetle, and it did fine. But this one, I think, is going to do a lot worse because it is going to be, it's heavier, and you're going to see this little tailpipe sticking out at the back. And I think that is going to give it a very inconsistent launch. And it's already two things working against it: the weight and the fact that it's probably going to get poor launches. Let's see, the Volkswagen Classic Beetle. I think if it didn't have that tailpipe sticking out, it would still have issues, mainly because of the weight. And this whole barn find look, they went a little far on this one. This is pretty ugly. It looks like a green car that got run through the mud and then ran into a wall or scraped up against the side. It got sideswiped. It's not the best looking car, but it's interesting, and we will see it in action. Every car that races isn't going to be a beauty, and this one sure qualifies as part of the not a beauty contingent. So we got it here. It is going to be on the track, and hey, maybe it can surprise. It's not a beauty contest, it's a race. So all you have to do is be fast and win, and that is all that is important. Can you get the job done on the track? Maybe this car can, and maybe it can't. But we have a pretty solid lineup. I am going to go and pull. I'm going to go pull those other cars, but let's see which car. Let's take a look at Beyblader, which one that he was picking. And that was car number 161. Let's see what that is. 161. 161. Oh, he's bringing back the street wiener. So that's funny because that is a car that has been a pretty popular pick. At least one of my students picked it and won the race, or won the tournament. And I think it really does just depend on the matchups, because I think Roughshod may have picked this one several months ago, and it just depends on the matchups, whether or not this is going to be a car that can compete. Just checking here with some of the others. Yeah, exactly, Christopher. Yeah, I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. But hey, you never know. It's just a match. It's a matchup situation. It's you never know. Can this street wiener beat the Lakester? Maybe. Can it beat the Liebre? Maybe. Who knows? This might be it. It's really a matter of matchups. So I am going to pull that car, and I'm going to pull Christopher and Roughshod's picks, and then we are going to be one step closer to hitting the track. So I'm going to throw up a little bathroom break graphic, and it's going to say 5 minutes. Won't take me that long, but I will be right back. All right, let's see what other cars are going to be competing. So we have Beyblader picked this one. Get the turntable turning. He picked this one. He picked the Street Wiener, and this car is, despite its the food theme, it's got the grill, it's got the spatula, it's got the condiments, the bun, the little tray. It's got it all. It is on a the back end is flat. The aerodynamic profile, as we've seen, is pretty good. Now, the spatula part that's basically the spatula / splitter is angled up, which is going to drive more air underneath this car, which probably isn't such a bad thing because these cars are all flat on the bottom. So there's less chance of the air being disrupted if it flows under the bottom versus over the top where you do have this sort of open back of the seat here. You do have the open driver's cockpit there. And so if we were to put this car in the wind tunnel on Wednesday, it would be pretty interesting because the air that goes under the bottom, fine. But the air that goes over the top, it's a lot going on here. But the fact is, I've seen this car in action. I've seen it be fast, but it's always a matter of matchup. So what kind of matchup is it going to get? This grill in the back, we're going to keep this closed, but it doesn't have a snap. So there's not really, well, I guess it does. So that's the grill open, so we won't do that because that'll create way too much drag. So it does have a little clasp, but it doesn't close completely. So you can see there's still a gap right here where it's open. So air that's flowing back this way is still going to end up sneaking in there and kind of being a bit trapped. So it's not necessarily going to be helpful. If this car gets out to a big enough lead, maybe that won't matter. But if it comes down to a matchup against a car like the BlitzSpeeder, then maybe a little bit of trouble. Let's check the weight on this one. It is coming in at 30.1 grams. So that is definitely a good weight right there. It is just a little light, but not too light. Christopher had an interesting pick. He picked his pick is weighing in at 30.5 grams, so also very light, and it is this 86 Toyota van, which is an interesting pick. It's not that old, so we've seen it in the fleet. We've seen it race before. And just based on the shape and the size and all of that, it performed like you would expect a minivan to perform. And given the shape, given the size, given the wheel placement, I'm looking at the other cars that are in line to go today, and I don't really see any that I think that this van can beat. Now, maybe wrong. Maybe it could beat the Knight Rider car, the kit car with the rubber wheels, but that may be the only car that it could beat. But we will see. We don't have any other vans lined up to race today, so it is going to be racing cars, and I don't know if that is exactly where this thing is going to thrive, but we will see. Maybe Christopher sees something in it or saw something in it the last time it raced that the rest of us missed. Roughshod has decided to go with this one. Let me check the weight first. The weight is 34.1 grams. Very good weight. We had this one, the Fast Felon. We had it in the wind tunnel on Wednesday. The aerodynamic profile, very good. I'm pretty much outstanding. It has kind of a bigger front grille here, but it wasn't too bad. Once that air got over the top, it looked very good. And it's got a flat back end. It's going to press up nicely right against the launching block. And it is aerodynamically, it is on point. So I'm thinking, if I had to pick, I'm kind of curious about how that Liebre performs. But I'm thinking that if I had to go out on a limb and pick right now, I would think that our finals matchup is probably going to be this one, and I want to say the Liebre, but I don't know how that Liebre is going to perform. But I something about it just makes me feel like it's probably going to be fast. If it's not the Liebre, I expect that hot dog, that street Weiner car to be in the mix, but we still don't know how that Lakester car is going to perform. So this one, though, I expect to be there in the mix, just based on everything that we saw in the wind tunnel and what's going on. Now, with these other two Hot Wheels, or these other two Firebirds, that is the gold hot ones, obviously. That is the one that I had when I was a kid, and it is light. And I'll tell you how light it is. This may end up being the lightest car we raced today. Yeah, it weighs in at 24.5 grams. And that is why actually, you know what? Both these cars raced. So if you go back to like one of or maybe the second episode of At the Track Live, these cars raced, and I think that the gold hot ones, Firebird, kept crashing. It's so light. And I ended up taping a quarter to the hood and then racing the cars, and then the races were competitive. But this is just the mainline version, a more recent version of that. And this is the gold hot ones version, old school car personified. So we have all of our cars lined up. Let's do Hot Wheels ID Buzz, Matchbox ID Buzz. Well, we already did that race last week. We had the Matchbox ID Buzz, we had the Buzz Bomb, and we had the mainline ID Buzz all race. So we just did that race last week, and if you want to see any of the old races, you can just go to our YouTube channel, click the live tab. All the previous episodes are there and listed, and you can go back, and there's time codes, so you can jump around and go to see whatever you want to see. But we are about to hit the track, and what you are going to see when we hit the track is this, our classic 3 race view. Wait, now I have to actually turn this on the Instagram feed. You are not seeing this, and that is just, let's see if this is, there we go. All right, now people who are watching on Instagram can see. This is what you are going to see when we hit the track. It is our 3 camera track view. The cars are going to start in the launcher, in the screen, on the top left, and I am going to give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race, hit the switch. The cars are going to come firing out of the launcher. They're going to go from top to bottom. They're going to pass out of the bottom of the screen on the left, show up at the top of the screen in the middle, go from top to bottom, passing out of the center section of our track and showing up at the top of the screen on the far right, the finish line section. And the cars are going to go from top to bottom. They're going to pass the it's called the judge, and I should give that guy more of a shout out. If you want a race track timer setup thing, it's called the judge. If you Google the judge and Hot Wheels racing, it will come up. But when our cars cross the finish line, the judge will let us know which car crossed first by showing a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. Once that race is completed, the cars will switch lanes and go again, and the first car to win 2 races will move on in the tournament. If a car crashes and leaves the track, well, we just throw out the results of that race, reset the cars, and run the race again. If a car crashes twice consecutively, it is going to be disqualified, because a car that crashes twice consecutively in exactly the same way, there is usually some problem with the combination of the force the launcher is giving and the shape and design or size or weight of the car that is not going to be resolved by just running the race over and over again. Now, if a car crashes, lands on its side or on its roof, but stays on the track, unfortunately, that's just a loss. So if a car is going to crash, it's best if it crashes and leaves the track. And other than that, we are ready to hit the track. So we have our cars ready to go. Track is set up. I will see you over at the track in 30 seconds. Let me just check the audio. 1 2 1 2. Okay, we're good to go there. So now we are going to hit the track. We have some good matchups, and we are going to find out. Oh, matter of fact, I was going to say we're going to find out which of these cars can take out the BlitzSpeeder. I forgot to bring the BlitzSpeeder. Left it behind. All right. Let's see. Some good, solid matchups. I think let's go ahead with this. Let's get this Firebird challenge out of the way. I want to see what this cheap Maisto Firebird is all about. And it's interesting because that SP1, that Ferrari, it's like Maisto, they put all their time and energy into crafting those high-end cars, and the low-end cars feel as low-end as you can get. So let's see what it's got. Maybe it'll surprise us with its performance, but I highly doubt that. All right, so we're going to go first with we're going to give it its best shot. We're going to give the Maisto against the actual Knight Rider kit car and get these lined up. Black Firebird on Black Firebird, Black 82 Firebird on Black 82 Firebird. Let's get it locked in. And we will put the Knight Rider version with the real riders that usually create too much friction and don't allow the car to even complete the course. The Knight Rider version is in lane 2, and the Maisto Firebird is in lane 1. This is race 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Go figure. You learn something every day. So the Maisto Firebird ended up, did it right itself? It went on its hood, or on its roof, and slid down the track, and then I guess it flipped back up and got right, but it still lost the race. And that's how it goes. Hang on, I have to make one little adjustment to the feed. And just a second. But I am surprised that I am surprised that the car with the real riders actually completed the race. So that is something. Yeah, we had a majorette car. So the majorette car, the one that we raced, that Nissan Gran Turismo, that was the one that I had to file down to get it to make it fit on the track, and it did okay, but the wheels were cheap. The wheels were really bad. I think that's what did it in more so than anything else. I liked the body style. It had a lot of metal. It looked great, but those wheels were bad on that one. And so I've started looking at some of the majorette cars as well, but it's gonna have to be a really nice one for me to pick it up. All right, switch lanes. We've got the Knight Industries 2000 kit car in lane number 1, and we've got the Maisto 82 Firebird in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That was a good, solid race. And now, am I really going to have to start rethinking this real rider situation? Because this car, like in the past, when we first started doing AtTheTrack.live, and there was an Aston Martin and some other cars with real riders that we ran, and they just couldn't. They were slow, and they often just didn't finish. Didn't even cross the finish line. But now we had that Ferrari SP1 that actually crossed the finish line, and then we just had this Knight Rider car with real riders cross the finish line. But the bigger point is it beat out a car with real riders, beat out the Maisto Firebird, which I think says a lot, because now we're gonna run the real riders Knight Rider car up against the other Firebird, which is just a regular mainline 80s Firebird. And I'm sorry, this is the 84 Firebird. 84 Firebirds in lane 1. The Knight Rider car kit is in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Are you serious? Are we really doing this? Okay, so Kit turned on the turbo boost and took that race. So the Kit car with the real riders, the rubber wheels that I have had sitting on top of my refrigerator for, I don't know, better part of a year, because it couldn't race. It had real riders. There was gonna be too much friction. It was gonna be too slow. All of the things. It is taken 3 races in a row, and if it can take 4, it will be moving on. This is wild. I would be happy to start considering cars with real riders, but I'm going to need a bigger sample size. But here we go. The Kit is in lane 1, and the 84 Firebird is in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, Kit kept it close, but Kit got beaten, so we are going to see. We're going to see. Well, see, no, the majorette cars. So the majorette car that we pulled, the Nissan, the Gran Turismo, it had plastic wheels. That was fine. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the wheels were cheap. They were cheap and flimsy and not very good quality. And you could just see it from looking at them. And the car didn't roll as well as, you know, your Hot Wheels or your Matchbox cars. It just had a very rough feel to it. So yeah, it wasn't that the Majorette car had rubber wheels. It was that it just wasn't quality wheels. All right, here we go. We've got Kit in lane 2. We've got the mainline 1984 Pontiac Firebird in lane 1. This is race number 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the dream is over for the real rider. Kit, it performed very well. Very well. I mean, well enough that I really think I might have to consider adding it to the fleet. Maybe. This real rider situation is very up in the air. Like I said, I think I need a bigger sample size. And, that's the thing. Oh, your uncle has an 84 Firebird. Does it have the T-top? Or not? Okay, now we're gonna have this. We're gonna go gold Hot Ones. The one that's super light. Now, the last time we raced this car, I had to strap a quarter to it because it was so light that it just wouldn't. It just flew off the track. It was not even remotely able to stay on. We're gonna see if that's any different this time around. I don't know any reason why it would be, but we'll see. So we have the gold Hot Ones 80s Firebird in lane 1. We have the 84 Pontiac Firebird in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Woo-hoo-hoo. Gold Hot Ones stayed on the track. No problems. Blew the doors off of the 84 Firebird. And in the battle for Firebird supremacy, the gold Hot Ones is one win away from claiming that title. So let's go ahead and switch lanes. And the gold Hot Ones, those are basically the original faster than ever wheels with the nickel-plated axles that allow the wheels to spin faster and more freely with less friction. So that is what that is all about. All right, here we go. We have race number 2. We have the gold Hot Ones Firebird in lane 2. We have the 84 Firebird in lane 1. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. It is the 84 Firebird that ended up crashing, and it crashed and left the track, which is good because otherwise it would have been beaten. So even though the gold Hot Ones Firebird ended up upside down at the end of the race, but it crossed the finish line. Nevertheless, gold Hot Ones crashed, left the track, and therefore we'll just reset that race, run it again, and see what happens. Gold Hot Ones. It is, here we go, the OG faster than ever cars. Let's see if it can represent. Here we go. Have them lined up again. Gold Hot Ones lane 2, 84 Firebird lane 1, race 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. and the 84 Firebird got wobbly, crashed, went off the track again, but it was clearly being beaten anyway, and had it stayed on the track, you know, it still would have lost because it was already losing at the point where it crashed, and therefore, even though the gold hot ones Firebird ended up upside down, it won. So it is moving on, and we are now gonna get into out of the beyond the world of Firebirds and into some of these other cars in the mix. Let's go. We're gonna see if Christopher's 86 Toyota van, the only car I can imagine it having a chance against is this Beetle. So we're gonna go with this heavy Beetle and this 86 van, which it seems like yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that hybrid cover because the van is a little tall. All right, so we are going to put the 86 Toyota van in lane number 1. We are going to see if it can overcome its pretty poor aerodynamic profile against this Beetle, which is heavy and has this tailpipe sticking out, so it's only got this one tiny point of contact. If this Beetle doesn't crash, I presume it'll win the race, but this is why we race the cars, so we can find out. So we've got the Beetle in lane 2, we've got the 86 Toyota van in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, whoa. Hang on. Apparently that last crash moved the tripod. Back there. All right. And all right, everything looks good. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Wow. Okay. That 86 van was gone, but if you saw how slow that Beetle was, I can't tell if the van was really fast or if the Beetle was, I'm not going to say it was Grogu slow because it actually crossed the finish line, but man, that was an awful performance. And I think some of that could probably be attributed to the fact that it's got that one little piece of tailpipe that is touching the launching block, and I don't think it got the best launch. But hey, you get the launch you get based on your design. So we're going to switch lanes here. We will put the Beetle in lane 1, and the van in lane 2. And this is race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The van takes it again. The Beetle, another horrible race. And the Beetle is going to take its metal on metal body, its heavy weight, and its tailpipe sticking out at the back, and it's going to go right back to the garage and possibly race at some other point, some other day. That day is not today. But hey, the van looked pretty good. So Christopher might have a sleeper on his hand, and we will see how that all turns out. But that Beetle was awful. Okay, let's go with the Lakester against Beyblader's Hot Dog Street Wiener. The Lakester is a very, very interesting car. Of course, I'm hoping with it being open-wheeled that it does not crash. That is always the main thing. Whether it wins or loses, don't really care, but I just don't want it to crash. Because this is not, it's one thing when a car that is in the store right now crashes, because whatever, you can just go replace it. But this Lakester is not one of those cars. This is a car that would cost me at least $10 to replace, and I'd rather not do that. So here we go. We have the Lakester in lane 2. We have the Street Wiener in lane 1. Race number 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Ooh, look at the Lakester. The Lakester, smooth as silk, stayed in the lead from the beginning, and we will see if the Street Wiener can come back. It's got to take 2 races in a row, which is not anything that's it's not unheard of. We see it all the time, but will we see it today is the question. So we're going to get these cars lined up again. The Lakester, that was a really good performance. It's got a bit of that kind of teardrop shape, a little bit. That is absolutely the most aerodynamically efficient shape there is, and we will see if it can move on. We'll have the Street Wiener in lane number 2, and the Lakester in lane number 1, and we are ready to go. Lakester versus Street Wiener, race 1, here we go. I'm sorry, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Ooh, that was a very close, very even race, and then the Lakester pulled it out at the end. I couldn't tell if it had the lead the whole time by a little bit, or if it closed the gap and took the race at the end. But either way, that is the Lakester moving on. So we will see that car moving on with Christopher's minivan. We've got the gold Hot Ones Firebird. And now let's take a look. Let's go with, how about we go, we're going to go Roughshods Fast Felon against the Maserati. The Maserati has the disc wheels, and that is no longer, just like I had, I'm starting to rethink my views on the real riders, but I need more information. But I've definitely sort of come around on the disc wheels, and that I don't think that they're automatically a kind of disqualifying thing, that a car can still win even with the disc wheels. It is possible. So we are going to see if that trend continues. We've got the Maserati, Tipo 61 in lane 2, and the Fast Felon in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And the Tipo with those wheels hit the barrier, bounced high into the air, flipped around, and ended up all over the place. So that crash will just allow us to restart the race. Let me go down and pick up the Fast Felon. And I was so busy watching the Maserati crash that I didn't really pay attention to how the Fast Felon looked. Let me make sure it didn't shake the camera off too much. All right, just that. Back. And let's get these cars lined up again. That was a pretty spectacular crash. But essentially, when a car crashes and bounces really high into the sky, it does let me know that that car was moving at a high rate of speed. So that's good, but it's only good if you can stay on the track. All right, here we go again. Fast Felon lane 1, Maserati lane 2, race 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Maserati blasts into the barricade again. And that is 2. So it is basically disqualification time. I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm going to be generous because this is not like the... well, put it like this. If it crashes 3 times in exactly the same way, there's some issue. I'm just not sure what it is because this car is... It appears to be getting a pretty good launch, so that doesn't seem to be the issue. But when it comes out, both times, it has hit that barrier and gone off. So it's coming off, and somehow it's hitting this barrier. And the only way it can hit the barrier is it has to be pretty much off the track at this point early on in the race. So it might be a situation that this car is so light and there is so much force that it is flying up and off the track, and that's why it's hitting the barrier. So we're going to try one more time, giving it a special 3rd shot. This is it. This is your last shot, Maserati. You've got to stay on the track. All right, here we go. Fast Felon lane 1, Maserati lane 2, race 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And that's it. 3rd time's the charm, and the Maserati is done. It is disqualified. 3 crashes in exactly the same way. So I'm going to have to take the Maserati, and I'm going to have to put the slow motion camera on it and run that and then see exactly what is happening, because obviously the exact same thing has happened 3 times in a row. So something's going on right at the beginning, and I don't know what that is, but the slow motion camera should provide some information. So the Fast Felon takes that race, but we're not going to just leave it at that. So let's go Fast Felon versus the Liebre and see what we've got here. This is a matchup that I thought would wait until... I thought it could be a finals matchup, but it turns out we're going to have that matchup right now as a result of the crashes from the Maserati. All right, here we go. We've got Liebre in lane 2. We've got the Fast Felon in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Ooh. So Liebre jumped out to a lead, had the lead, and towards that back end, the Fast Felon was quickly closing the gap, but ran out of track, and the Liebre took it. So that is, it's an interesting thing to note, because what we see is the Fast Felon, I mean, it was catching up, but with the Liebre, slowing down at the back end is okay if you have a big enough lead. But if you're in a close race, that can make the difference between winning and losing. And especially if we're talking about a matchup against the BlitzSpeeder, you cannot afford to take your foot off the pedal, slow down, or anything even remotely looking like deceleration. All right, here we go. Switch lanes. We got the fast Felon in lane 2. And we have the Liebre in lane 1, race 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Liebre got out to that lead, held on to it, even though the fast Felon was closing hard at the end. It was the Liebre that took it. So the Liebre is moving on. It is now down to the Liebre, the Liebre, the 86 Toyota van, the Lakester, and the Firebird. So let's go. Right now, we're going to go, let's go with, we'll go Lakester against the 86 van. So let me pull out the hybrid cover and see what we've got. Put a dime on the Maserati. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know why the Maserati is what's happening, and usually the slow motion video will show me like what the issue is, and then I can try and figure out if there's some strategy or something I can do to try and solve the problem. But for the most part, it's really hard to tell, especially when cars are crashing at the beginning, just with kind of your naked eye, because it's just everything's happening so fast. All right, we have the 86 van in lane 2. We have the Lakester in lane 1, race 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Whew. That 86 van is performing better than I remember, but the Lakester still took that race and is now positioned to win one more race and make it to the finals. Let me grab the van down here, and we will switch lanes. I think one thing that helps the van is that it's hollow and it doesn't weigh that much. What doesn't help it is that aerodynamic profile. That is absolutely detrimental, but you know, you work with what you've got. So here we go. We are going to set up the 86 Toyota van, Christopher's pick. He brought it back. We saw it race a few weeks back, and it is back already. It is in lane 1, and we have the Lakester, a thrift store pickup, in lane 2. So, Toyota van, lane 1, Lakester, lane 2, race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh no. Here comes the Lakester all the way back. That van went upside down and is down there turtled on its roof, but you know what? I'm going to give it another shot. I gave the Maserati three opportunities. I'm not going to disqualify or let the van go out like that. The van, we're going to let it's got to go out on its wheels. Since we know it can. It's just a tough thing when you've got a high profile vehicle moving this fast. Any sort of wobbling, bouncing, it's going to be tougher for it to correct, and once it starts bouncing and moving, it is likely that is going to continue and not end in a good way. So we're going to see. All right, we've got the 86 van in lane 1, Lakester lane 2, race 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Woo! I'm gonna give it one more shot. So this time the van smashed into the barricade and flew back essentially right into my lap. That's kind of unique. All right, Lakester, and this van's got one more shot. That's it. After that, it's toast. It's done. So it needs to put its best foot forward. Here we go. Race number 2. Van, lane 1, Lakester lane 2, race 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Once again, the van ends up exactly in the exact same position as 2 races ago, on its roof, upside down, about 2/3 of the way down the track. The Lakester takes the race. The Lakester's moving on to the finals. Our next matchup is going to be the Gold Hot Ones Firebird against the Liebre. So we've got a good solid group right here at the end. However this next matchup turns out, it will be a good one. It will be either the Liebre or this Gold Hot Ones Firebird taking on the Lakester. All right. We've got the Gold Hot Ones Firebird in lane 1. We've got a Liebre in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Now it's Liebre that smashes into the barrier and crashes. So we are having a crash fest here today. It's very interesting, but we are going to set these cars up because all of these cars have completed the course without crashing before. So it is not, we're not going to have a disqualification lead to a finals matchup and winner. But it's one of the things. These cars come out with a lot of force, and I think that when you watch the slow motion video, you see how really violent these launches are. And the fact that I have to put this acrylic cover on there lets you know how much force these cars are coming out of the launcher with. And the acrylic cover actually has paint scrapes and on the top where cars have hit it, and it is really something that happens in the blink of an eye, that these cars come firing out, they hit the acrylic cover and then get back on the track. It all happens like in a split second, and if a car doesn't get it right, it smashes into that barrier. So here we go again. We've got the Gold Hot Ones Firebird in lane 1. We have the Liebre in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Liebre takes it. Nice, good, solid race. Both cars moving down the track at a good pace. That Liebre, I was a little skeptical that it was going to be able to hang with this hot, the Gold Hot Ones Firebird, just because of the weight difference and the way we saw the Firebird perform in the first round. And we are now one race away from the Liebre moving into the finals, but it's got a ways to go because this Gold Hot Ones car is not going away. Liebre set up in lane 1. And the Gold Hot Ones car in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Oh, the Liebre took that one by a lot. Like, there was no question about that. and that is pretty good racing on the part of the Liebre, and it is in the finals. We have the Liebre, which was donated by a great friend of the program, versus the thrift store find, which was the Lakester. And this is our finals matchup. This is going to be a good one. All right, we've got the Lakester. We're setting that up in lane number 2. We are putting the Liebre in lane number 1. This is our finals matchup. Lakester lane 2, Liebre lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Lakester did it. Oh, look at the Lakester coming all the way back. It came all the way back to the beginning, didn't quite tap the launching block, but that is a sign. That is a sign of just how much speed this car is coming down the track with. So we have switch lanes, and we are going to see if Liebre, aka the Hare, can pull off 2 wins in a row. We've got the Lakester. When I saw it online, I've been looking at it on eBay for a few weeks, and then found it in this store, in this thrift store in Ventura, and we're going to see. We are going to see. All right. We've got the lane switch. We've got the Lakester in lane 1. We have the Liebre in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And Liebre hits the barrier, so we are going to reset and get these cars lined up once again. The Liebre will still be in lane 2. And let me go grab, oh, here it is, a little closer than expected. The Lakester. The Lakester is going to be in lane 1. Lakester lane 1. And Liebre lane 2, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Woohoo! Liebre took it. It was giving up ground at the back end of the track, but it hung on long enough to take that win. So the Liebre forcing a third and final race, and this is the way it should be when we come down to the finals. Get our 2 fastest cars of the week lined up, ready to go, and we are going to see which of these 2 cars is going to take on the BlitzSpeeder and have the opportunity to become our fastest in fleet champion. But it's got to get by, they've got to get by each other. So we're putting Liebre back into lane number 1. If it will stay put. Liebre lane 1. Lakester in lane 2. This is it. Whichever car takes this is today's tournament winner and will move on to face the BlitzSpeeder. These cars don't want to stay put. All right, here we go. Race number 3, Lakester lane 2, Liebre lane 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Lakester takes it, but not by a lot. but you don't have to win by a lot. You just have to win. So there we go. The Lakester is, let's see. Oh, very interesting. Beyblader saying the Lakester is based off fishing lure. That's very interesting. That would kind of make sense with the name. All right, so we've got the Lakester, and the Lakester is our champion today. And now the Lakester has the opportunity to be basically immortalized if it can take out the BlitzSpeeder. This is the question. We've seen cars hit our track, win the tournament, do very well. They look good. They look fast. They look unstoppable. And then they go up against the BlitzSpeeder and they get annihilated. But there's always a chance. There's always a chance, which is why we have to race these cars. So can the Lakester beat the BlitzSpeeder and become the fastest in-fleet champion, or will it be just another victim? We are going to find out right now. We've got the Lakester set up in lane 2. The BlitzSpeeder, the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet, is in lane 1. It is ready to defend its title. This is just what the BlitzSpeeder does. It shows up every week in this position, facing the best car of the week, and has proceeded to destroy every single car that has challenged it, except for those 3, one of which it already knocked off, the Gazella R. But we're going to see what it does against the Lakester. The BlitzSpeeder's lined up in lane 1. Lakester's lined up in lane 2. This is for the fastest in-fleet title. Race number 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Oh my God, the BlitzSpeeder is just ridiculous. Come on, man. Come on. I was expecting us to have a good, solid, competitive matchup for our fastest in fleet title, and the BlitzSpeeder had no interest in any such kind of competition. The BlitzSpeeder is like, yeah, I've got things to do. Let me go ahead and knock this one out real quick. Put this all to bed. I don't care what thrift store you went to. You can go to a thrift store. You can go to a chain store. You can go to a pawn shop. I don't care where you find the car. I'm going to beat it down and destroy it. We're going to see if that happens. Again, BlitzSpeeder is now lined up in lane 2 with after taking complete and total control of that last race and just obliterating the Lakester. The Lakester's now in lane 1, brought down to earth a bit after that last race, but we're going to see what happens. Lakester lane 1, BlitzSpeeder lane 2, race number 2, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. I mean, a little closer. Look at the BlitzSpeeder coming all the way back so it can get to the garage even faster. BlitzSpeeder remains our fastest in-fleet car. I'm going to gather these cars up, head back in the garage. We're going to take a look at the winners, the losers, and some of what we saw and what's coming up. I'll be back in the garage in just a minute. So the question just becomes, can the BlitzSpeeder be stopped? And at this point, it's looking like it's just looking like the answer is absolutely not. The BlitzSpeeder is just it's so fast. We have these races, and the Lakester looked good. I'm not taking nothing away from the Lakester. The Lakester looked really good, and it performed well. It won the tournament. It beat out all the other cars. But then it ran into, we have that car, the Buzz something, that has the buzzsaw, like right in the middle. The real buzzsaw is the BlitzSpeeder, because, I mean, it cuts through these cars and just brings them back down to earth in a way that is unlike any car we've seen. And I go back to, we do it every Wednesday when we put the cars in the wind tunnel. We are looking at the aerodynamic profile, and the BlitzSpeeder is able to reduce the impact of drag. And when cars are moving at high speeds, any object is moving at high speeds through the air, drag is the most significant factor, force that is going to restrict the speed. And the BlitzSpeeder minimizes the impact of drag, and therefore it is able to maintain more of its speed down the track. And we see it just open up these leads on these cars, and it just, I mean, blows them away. The Lakester is not a slow car. The Lakester is a fast car. The Liebre is a fast car, but there's levels to fast car. And it's super fast. It is exactly what it is. So the BlitzSpeeder remains our fastest in fleet champion, but we're going to give a good honorable mention to the performance of the Lakester. The Lakester was extremely fast. I'm glad that I picked this up. I think it has everything that it needed to win. It's got that kind of bullet shape, and Beyblader says it's not based off a fishing lure. Kind of, yeah, it does seem like a missed opportunity, because it does have that look to it. It may be, I don't know if you've already looked this up. I'm thinking it may be, perhaps it was some actual car. Yeah, like one of those Salt Flats racers, just with a weird design. I don't know. It could be just a pure fantasy car. Either way, I like the look of it. It's very cool. I even like the fact that it opens up. That is even cooler, because we don't see too many of cars with like little gimmicks that are also fast. But this one is, and yeah, I'm really glad that I picked this one up. I like this. I like the look of it. I like the performance. And I think if it's not going up against the BlitzSpeeder, that this is a very solid car. Now, the one that I have to, like I said, I'm going to go back and check and run some slow motion video on it, is this one. This thing, very light. And we knew that it could potentially have some problems being as light as it is. And yeah, it had problems. I mean, it was smashing into that barrier. And the way that it was happening, I think that when this car comes out of the launcher, there's so much force that it is actually lifting into the air. And it's not, I think what we'll see with the super slow motion is that it's not even on the track. It is in the air and then just hits the barrier and comes off. I think that is the risk of picking a car that is very light. And that's something that students tend to do, thinking that, oh, if I get the smallest, lightest car, that's going to be best. But usually that's not how it works. That force that they come out with just ends up being enough to launch the car into the air. And that is what happens. Let's see. We've got... Oh, The Lakester is based on a World War II belly tanker race car. Okay. So there we go. So I knew it had to be something because it's very cool. So I'm gonna have to Google and look those up because I definitely like the look and feel of that car, and it's definitely one. Let's see. Lakester is based on a belly tanker racer. Custom race cars made out of belly tankers from drop tanks used on various planes used in combat during World War II. Okay. Huh. You learn something every day. And this is what I've just learned. I never even heard of that. But I am definitely going to check it out. Thank you. And then we had this one, the Liebre. The Liebre performed very well. And again, I think that this is definitely one of the kind of upper echelon cars. It hung in there with the Lakester. The Lakester was ultimately kind of blown away by the BlitzSpeeder, so I don't know that the Liebre would have done any better. But this is a cool looking car. So today was a good day for cool looking cars that actually performed. The Liebre, very cool looking car. I love those wheels. This is probably one of the few cars that I like those wheels on it. And I love it on this car. The silver and black and white. And then the Lakester. That is definitely one of the coolest cars that we've had going. But there are always more Hot Wheels to find, more Hot Wheels to race. And I still have another car that I picked up at the that same thrift store where I found the Lakester, and that will be racing next week. We're gonna have on Wednesday 4 p.m. Wind Tunnel Wednesday. We're gonna have the Lakester in the wind tunnel. We're gonna take a look at that and the Liebre, and this is gonna be. I've got a whole bag of cars here, just sitting there waiting to be put in. And yeah, Beyblader, yeah, nice to have you back. And we're gonna see that hot dog car. I'm thinking that it is the fact that it has that spatula. I think the aerodynamics are probably off. We might have to put that one into the wind tunnel. I might have to make a note to put the street wiener in the wind tunnel. So if you want to see a hot dog, where else are you going to see a hot dog in a wind tunnel? Nowhere else. Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. If you want to see the old episodes, you can go to our YouTube channel. At the Track Live, we're here every Saturday, racing cars, doing reviews, just, having fun racing Hot Wheels cars. And we have a 24/7 lo-fi Hot Wheels channel on YouTube. It's just chill music and videos of Hot Wheels cars playing. Just something to throw on in the background. And of course, as they say, the mothership is the program all about aerodynamics, our science program that uses Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about science and physics. You can find more information at aaerodynamics.com or follow us on Instagram, and all the information is there in the bios. So, for all about aerodynamics, for At the Track Live, for Wind Tunnel Wednesday, and for our 24/7 lo-fi chill Hot Wheels channel, I am Coach James, and until next time, I will see you at the races.